You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Conservative mocks Mark Kelly for being in love with his wife, based on an article by Matthew Rassa. The real scandal was never the jersey, a manufactured outrage. The source story is simple. Donald Trump's supporters decided to make Mark Kelly's Mexico jersey and a candid photo into a loyalty test, then used that staged offense to turn his marriage and his wife's injuries into attack material. Gabrielle Giffords answered them directly and shut down the lie. Meanwhile, the actual political actor in the background was Trump, who was busy leaning on FIFA in the middle of a soccer controversy and, once again, treating power as a personal instrument. Who has power here? The people with actual institutional power are not the influencers performing outrage on X. It is Trump, the president, who can turn a sporting dispute into a pressure campaign. It is also his movement, which uses that power to set the terms of attention, not policy, not abuse of office, not the president's own interference, but whether a Democratic senator wore the right shirt at a watch party. That is the point of the spectacle. It is not confusion, it is discipline. The attack is the message. Laura Loomer's post was not a bad faith misunderstanding. It was an attempt to weaponize disability, injury, marriage, and loyalty in one shot. Calling Giffords medically brain dead was not rhetorical excess. It was cruelty, deployed as political signaling, aimed at humiliating Kelly and manufacturing a moral panic around a harmless photo. This is how authoritarian politics works when it is not yet able to fully control institutions. It uses degradation, not argument. It tries to make decency itself look suspect. What gets hidden? The story briefly notes the part Republicans wanted everyone to ignore. Trump had already intervened in a soccer matter by contacting FIFA leadership to reverse a ban on one of America's star players. That is a president using influence on a private international body, then leaving his supporters to howl about a senator's jersey. That reversal matters. The abuse of office is treated as background noise, while the invented scandal gets center stage. The weaker target is made to look controversial. The stronger actor gets shielded by volume. Kelly's real offense. Kelly's actual offense, in Trump world terms, is not the photo. It is that he keeps refusing the ritual of submission. He joined other lawmakers in warning service members not to follow illegal or unconstitutional orders. Trump answered with a death threat dressed up as political condemnation, calling that sedition punishable by death. Kelly then stayed seated during Trump's immigration performance in Congress. That is the real conflict, not a wardrobe dispute, but whether elected officials will normalize a president who treats obedience as the price of legitimacy. The pattern. This story is another example of movement politics built on humiliation, scapegoating, and attention theft. The goal is not persuasion. It is to flood the field with garbage so that power can act underneath it. Personal abuse becomes a substitute for governance. Loyalty theater becomes a substitute for law. The Democratic response is not to pretend this is normal partisan roughhousing. It is to name the structure plainly, a corrupt administration backed by a mob that prefers public degradation to accountability, and a senator who's being attacked precisely because he will not play along. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to AlterNet for today's article. With the automated voice of Leszek, thanks for listening.